We think of the Pilgrims as brave men and women, and certainly they were. But out of those 102 passengers on the Mayflower, there were 49 men, there were 18 women, and there were 35 children. By the time you get to the first Thanksgiving, you have 22 men, you have 4 adult women left alive, you have 25 children who survive, 2 more who have been born. So by that time, more than 50% of that community that's celebrating the first Thanksgiving is under the age of 18. So it's not that you have the Pilgrims and a children's table. This whole event is going to be one big children's event. I'm Peggy Baker. I am the director and librarian of Pilgrim Hall Museum. This is the oldest continuously operating museum in America. What we have at Pilgrim Hall Museum are artifacts that actually belonged to the Pilgrims. And that means every single one of them is unique. There may be plenty of other 17th century Bibles, but here is the only 17th century Bible that belonged to William Bradford. The only 17th century beer stein that belonged to Peter Brown. The only cradle that belonged to Peregrine White, the first child born on the Mayflower. We've got a wonderful little pair of early 17th century baby shoes. The sorts of things that perhaps they're not that different from 20th century folks, but they allow people of today to relate to the people of 400 years ago. We do have some Native American artifacts because, of course, the interaction that the Pilgrims had with their neighbors is a very important part of the story. A visit by grandparents with grandchildren to Pilgrim Hall Museum is a wonderful opportunity for grandparents to introduce those kids to their American heritage in a low-key, interactive, family-friendly setting. It's an opportunity for grandparents and grandkids together to look at artifacts, to talk together about the stories behind those artifacts. When families visit Pilgrim Hall Museum, we have what we call treasure hunts. And they're age-appropriate activity sheets. We have them at 4 different levels. And what they do is they ask questions of the children. They challenge the children to really look at the artifacts and to ask themselves some questions, to come up with some opinions. Not always answers that are right or wrong, but some real opinions, some value questions. Well, we have discovered that one of the fears that grandparents have when they come with grandkids to a museum is, what do you do with them? Are the grandparents expected to be the experts who know everything? And they're not. We expect a visit here to be a mutual voyage of discovery, and we do our best to put the kids in charge of that voyage.